If you don't know how to manage money like the top 1%, you can still end up broke, even if you earn $100,000 a year. That's why someone earning less can still build wealth and achieve financial freedom early, as long as they understand the system for managing money. And in this video, you're going to learn exactly that. By the end of this video, you'll have a strong understanding of how to manage your money effectively. The value I've packed into this content comes from multiple sources, my personal experiences, and countless hours of research, all to make sure this video is genuinely helpful for anyone struggling with money management. I'm not a financial expert. I'm simply someone who has made a lot of mistakes with money and doesn't want you to repeat them. That's why I'm sharing the lessons I've learned through trial and error. In this video, you'll learn what the money management rule is, the key factors that influence which rule you should use, and finally, how to create your own personalized money management rule. Now, you might be wondering, why create your own rule? That's a great question because most people have a common confusion about this that we need to clear up first. First, let's clear up a big confusion. Something I've noticed no one really talks about on YouTube, but it's one of the most important things to understand. If you go to YouTube right now and search how to manage money like the 1%, you'll find dozens of videos from different creators. Each one will give you their own version of a money management rule. I've watched at least 3 videos from trusted creators myself, but here's the question. Why are they all suggesting different rules instead of giving you one perfect rule that will make you an expert at managing money? It's because that perfect rule doesn't exist. That's the truth. That's why you hear different strategies from different people. And that's exactly why I'm going to teach you how to create your own rule, one that actually works for you. Now, I'm not saying the rules they share won't work for you. They might, but will they work for everyone? Definitely not. Most of these rules are based on certain factors you need to understand before following them. One of the most common factors is flexibility. Many creators pick a rule because it's easy to adapt. And I also know one of the most popular yet extremely flexible rules, the 50-30-20 rule. This rule is simple, effective, and easy to apply no matter how much you earn. Whether your income is low or high, you can start using it immediately. And don't worry, you'll also learn how to customize it for your own situation. Here's how it works. The 50% essentials. Half of your income should go toward essential needs like food, rent, transportation, the things you can't live without. But to apply this effectively, you need to fully understand what essential means. Here are 2 steps to make that easier. Step 1. Make a list. Yes, I know it sounds boring and basic, but this is the most effective way to understand your basic expenses and know exactly how much you need to spend on them. Here's how I do it. I keep a list of recurring essential expenses I must pay every month. This helps me see what truly matters and where my money should go first. It also saves me from overspending because I don't have to think every month about what's important. It's already written down. I also keep a separate section for temporary or unexpected expenses, those one-off costs that pop up from time to time. Tracking these helps you avoid being caught off guard. If you're not tracking your expenses, you'll never truly know where your money is going or whether what you're buying is actually needed. Step 2. Prioritize and separate your needs. Once you've listed your essential expenses, rank them by importance. Ask yourself, 1. Does this expense add value? 2. Is it truly important to me? 3. What happens if I don't spend on it? When I first did this, I went back through my past 2 to 3 months of expenses and pulled out only the recurring essentials, things like rent, groceries, and travel to work. If you don't have past expense records, just write down everything you can remember spending money on. Then cut out anything that fails the 3 questions above. This way, you're left with a clear, prioritized list of true essentials. No clutter. The 30% enjoyment. This is where many people go wrong. Either they overspend here or they cut it out completely and feel miserable. The truth is, you should spend up to 30% of your income on things that make life enjoyable. Vacations, dinners, hobbies, entertainment. Money management isn't just about saving, and it's also about living. If you're not enjoying life, what's the point of managing money in the first place? However, if your income is low, you may need to reduce this percentage and put more toward essentials. That's why it's important to learn how to create your own rule that fits your income and goals, and we'll get into that soon. The 20%. Savings. The last 20% of your income should be saved, untouched. This becomes your emergency fund. Unexpected expenses will come, and if you're not prepared, they can push you into debt, wanting and keep you there. I've been there myself, and it's not a place you want to be. You can increase this percentage, but never decrease it. Reducing your savings is like sending an open invitation to financial problems. Once you've built a solid emergency fund, you can start investing this money so it grows while you sleep. But start investing only after you've secured your emergency fund. The type of account you use for your savings also matters. It can affect how quickly your money grows. I'm not diving deep into account types here because some of you are beginners and I don't want to overwhelm you. If you want to learn more about investments and account types, I've linked a few helpful videos in the description. Now that you understand the rule, you can follow it. But keep in mind, this rule may not work for everyone, including you. That's why it's important to learn how to modify it according to your lifestyle. Let's imagine a scenario. If your income decreases or your expenses increase, would you still use this exact rule? No, you would need to modify it or create your own. To do either, you must understand the three factors on which this rule is built or adjusted. Remember, all three are connected, so changes in one will affect the others. Factor 1. Income level. The first factor is your income level, how much you are earning and bringing home. Based on your income, you divide your money into needs, wants, and savings. Everyone has different income levels, so not everyone can follow the same rule. For example, a person with a low income cannot follow the same percentages as someone earning more because most of their money will go toward essential needs. That's why they may choose a rule with a high percentage for needs and a low percentage for wants. In this case, they may only be able to save a small amount, but even tiny savings matter, especially for building an emergency fund, which can be a financial lifesaver. The rule also changes for people with average or high incomes. And how does income affect the rule? That's where the second factor comes in. Factor 2. Expenses. Expenses refer to where your money is going, the things you buy and the bills you must pay. When your expenses rise or fall, they directly affect your needs percentage and indirectly affect your income factor. That's why you need to adjust the entire rule. For example, imagine two people with the same income. One has high needs because they are married, while the other has low needs because they are unmarried. Clearly, they will not use the same rule. The married person might have a high needs percentage, spend less on wants, and save more to secure their family's future. The unmarried person could have a lower needs percentage, allowing them to spend more on wants and savings. If the married person also earns well, they might save more because of the third factor. Factor 3. Financial goals. The third factor is your financial goals. Everyone has their own goals and works hard to achieve them. According to your financial goals, you may need to adjust your lifestyle and focus more on savings and investments to achieve what you want. If your goals are small and everything is running smoothly, you may not need to make big changes. But your priorities will determine how you manage your money. Some people even sacrifice their personal dreams to fulfill family responsibilities. That's why setting clear financial goals often leads to changes in your rule and lifestyle. For example, someone with a relatively high income who wants to retire early will likely reduce their wants spending and increase their savings percentage. This will bring them closer to their goal. These three factors, income level, expenses, and financial goals, are interconnected. Now that you know the factors influencing the rule, you can create a money management plan that is perfectly designed for you. After all, how long can you follow a rule someone else suggested? At some point, you'll need a system that's customized for your life. Do you remember when I told you to make a list of your essential needs? Take that list and calculate the total amount you spend on these essentials each month. Once you have that number, divide it by your total income. This will give you your needs percent. Now, subtract that percentage from 100%. The remaining percentage is what you'll allocate according to your financial goals. If you can spend less on wants, that's even better. But avoid giving a large portion to wants. Let's break it down with an example. David earns $4,000 a month. His essential needs cost $2,200. When he divides $2,200 by $4,000, he gets his needs percent. From there, he doesn't jump straight to spending on wants. Instead, he decides how much to save first. David wants to save $800 for savings, investments, and his emergency fund. Dividing $800 by $4,000 gives him his savings percent. Whatever percentage is left can be allocated to wants. However, this rule is useless if you don't follow it. Money management might not make you rich overnight, but it will protect you from going broke. You should also be willing to adjust your rule even when everything seems fine. For example, if your income stays the same but your expenses rise, you'll need to optimize your needs by cutting costs, like lowering bills, finding cheaper housing, or switching to more affordable alternatives. If your wants percent is too high, it's time to adjust your lifestyle. And if your savings percent is too low, remember to pay yourself first. Set aside savings as soon as you get paid. Think of these rules as a framework to help you manage your money and reach your financial goals. Many people fail at money management because as their income grows, their wants grow even faster. They start buying luxury items and chasing a luxurious lifestyle. But here's something most people don't realize. Wealthy individuals often avoid luxury purchases, not because they can't afford them, but because they want to stay wealthy. There's a big difference between looking rich and staying rich.